So welcome back to our channel. We're here with PGA professional Rob Emery, and we're going to take a look at seniors club fitting. So if you like our channel and you enjoy our videos, please make sure you subscribe. So Rob, seniors open this week. There's a lot of talk about seniors club fitting. What's the difference?
My opinion, there is no difference. If someone comes in for a fitting, how you swing is how you swing. So we have an abundance of shafts, different weights, different flexes, different feels. It really comes down to that person, that individual feel, getting the right shaft that's going to give the right performance and feel good when you're hitting it.
So when you see manufacturers and suppliers now, they come out with a brand or a set of irons or a model that is aimed at ladies or seniors specifically, is that just hype?
I think a lot of the time it is the way that they probably sell it. I think in reality, the way that I would always do it, it's if you need to get the ball get a little bit more speed out of your game, get that club head traveling a little bit quicker. If it's got ladies or seniors on it, it's going to be a little bit lighter, it's going to have a little bit more flex, give you a little bit more help.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's aimed at seniors. It's just someone that necessarily swings it a little bit slower.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's very much based on the TrackMan numbers. The data that's coming back is actually not. It's not an age thing.
No, totally.
It's not
totally.
or a gender thing. It's very much a speed thing.
Pretty much all our fittings, I would kind of always look at the fittings in the same way. We look at what we're trying to achieve. So if we're looking at irons, it might be distance, it might be dispersion, it might be landing angle at the other end. We want these numbers to be where we need them. So if it's landing angle, we want it to be between 45 and 50 degrees at landing angle at the other end. If you're already hitting it quite high and you're a senior, then you don't need a shaft that's going to pop it up even higher. So,
and likewise, you don't need a head that's going to do that either.
Correct.
So quite often I've heard it in fittings, I've seen it in fittings over the years where an older golfer may come in and they want to play a ZX7, they want to play a P790, a good looking traditional iron, but I'm of an age where it's not good enough for me, I'm getting older, I need a bit more help. Well, actually, the ball's going to tell you what you need rather than...
Totally. I think with the modern day equipment, I think the brands, they're all so very strong, they have so many different models within their offering, that we can have a slightly smaller head, might be slightly smaller, but it's still got a bit of forgiveness in there. But the shaft that we put in is going to help you a little bit. But yeah, it's ultimately...
Golfer's a golfer.
Ultimately, yeah, you want to enjoy your game. You want to have a club that, yes, it needs to perform, but it's your enjoyment. It's got to look good, it's got to feel good, and you want to go out and practice and use it. So yeah, lots of different options that we have available, shafts, heads. There'll be something there that's for you.
So what would be the biggest misconception, or what would be the biggest problem that you see a senior golf face? Is it distance, height? What are they searching for when they come in for their... And we're talking specifically irons here, so what would be the one thing that they kind of want more that they haven't got in a current set of irons?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking statistically, then maybe club head speed will slow down a little bit.
And they've got to accept that.
They have, but with some of the modern day shafts that are available, they are so much lighter, we can help get that back up. So
do you notice that the senior golfer focuses more on their club head speed lowering, more than worrying how do I get my ball speed up?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think from the consumer, I think it's much more about the end product. So they probably don't always look at ball speed. So when we're looking at fitting, we would concentrate a lot more on ball speed than club head speed. Ball speed is much more representative of the distance that you get than club, because you could generate really good club head speed, not hit it out the middle, lose a lot of ball speed, therefore you're not gaining. So it may well be that that person that comes in that's losing distance and they think it's because of their age, it might not be at all. It might just be that the shaft in there's just not getting that club back to where it needs to be, or the club head is just not giving them enough. So Ball speed, launch angles, they're all really important to make sure that golfer gets what they need. So that's something that we explain to people. I think generally they would look at clubhead speed as always being their main focus, but sometimes it's not. If it is clubhead speed, then yeah, we'll have a shaft that'll give that a little bit more back.
And how do you, I mean, taking a golfer, again, one of the conceptions we talk about, misconceptions we hear when it comes to shafts is that I'm getting older, it's probably time I go to graphite. Now, obviously with the amount of shafts that you have on a wall and the amount of options you have, is that always the case? Or are you noticing that actually the amount of lightweight steel options that we have, I mean, grab the heaviest one there going, but the amount of lightweight steel options that are on the wall means that actually some guys, when they do get an age where their clubhead speed's dropping, they can still have the feel of a steel shaft and a lightweight steel shaft because they can get away with it.
Yeah, totally. I think it actually probably works both ways. I think there's more steel shafts that are available that are lighter, as you say, but there are also more graphite shafts that are a lot stronger. So if we talk LA Golf, the shafts that they have in there, when you've got someone like Bryson DeChambeau that hits it really hard, that's using graphite shafts, they've got to be strong enough to support that. So it works both ways, and I think the options that a lot of the brands have now are so strong, it just gives me a headache sometimes because there are so many options for that consumer, but it does also mean for the consumer that, yeah, ultimately there's going to be a shaft in there that works really well.
So, top 3 irons this year, 2023, for a senior golfer. Let's call a senior golfer over 50. Are we going there? Or over 55?
I'd probably go over 60.
You're going over 60?
Over
okay.
60.
Over 60. So if you're over 60, best 3 irons this year, so far performance-wise, for the senior golfer, what are you going with?
For me, I would probably say Stealth has been up there as one of those. As a colourway ambassador, definitely the new Big Bertha that's come out. I think the new Big Bertha iron really does add to that ball speed coming off the face and forgiveness.
Number 3?
And probably Mizuno in there as well. I think Mizuno, probably the HL. Just again, that
so the new one they released this year?
Yeah, the high launch one. Again, just because popping that ball up in the air a little bit more just will mean that extra bit of carry for those mid to long irons just gives that extra bit of option.
Brilliant. So there we go, guys. A little bit of an insight. Rob believes there is no difference from fitting a senior golfer to a normal golfer or a normal age golfer. Look, when you get older, it doesn't matter. Come in, check your numbers, make sure that you go through the fitting. Don't be led down this road that you need graphite or need steel. It's all to do with the data and what you're trying to perform in your ball flight.